So hey everyone, welcome back to our channel again. So today's video is very exciting. We are going to learn about what is Node.js clustering and how to utilize this module. So basically, if you are not using it, I will show you the cons, and after using this module, I will show you how it is beneficial for you. And so first understand what is Node.js clustering. So cluster of Node.js process can be used to run multiple instances of Node.js that can be distribute workload among their application thread, right? So basically Node.js is basically single thread language. So it will process each request by a single thread, right? So no matter if your machine has multiple CPUs or multiple CPU, right? But it will still it will not use all the CPU thread because it doesn't know like whether you're allowing him to use all the thread or not. So it will by default use only one single thread. This is the standard process, and this is the process with worker thread. So once you apply the cluster module, your application will work like this. And if you're not using it, then your application will look like this. For example, a request is coming like this, right? There is multiple requests, suppose multiple thousands of requests coming to your application like this, and it will go to this worker like process ID, right? This is the example process ID, and it will handle and then this process ID pass this request to the your application, right? So it will this Node.js application will process each request one by one, right? So there is a high chance your application will get break if there is thousands of millions of requests comes together. And if you're not containerize your application, if you're not using K8 clusters or using any load balancer, there is a high chance that your server get crash. And to prevent this, we are using cluster module of Node.js, right? And here you can see if you apply cluster module, so request is coming like this, thousands of requests. So what cluster module do? Cluster module will divide each request to different worker thread, right? Here we are assuming this CPU this instance has 3 CPU, right? So each CPU has running on different running by different thread, and each thread is managing different process, right? For example, uh, request 10 request goes to this process ID, 10 goes to this, 10 goes to this. If 30 requests come together, right? It work as a round robin fashion. So round robin is nothing but if a worker thread is busy on some other request, and then distribute the load to another worker thread, right? So if a request is coming to this worker thread, it will handle. If this thread is free, then another request will goes through this worker thread. It will work like this. That's why there is a high chance that it will not break your server. It will handle it will divide the load into different worker thread, right? So first let's jump into the code. I will show you the implementation of it, but before doing it, like I will show you if you are not using it, then how it's going to work. So this is my index.js, very simple application, like express server. So let me show you the code. So this is basic simple express server. I have written a one route and a second route to test the load. So I have so testing the load, I have written an while loop. This while loop is running for 50 million times. It is looping through 50 million times, and in the end it is just sending the response. And let's run this server node index.js. I will show you like if you are not using cluster module, then how it can break your server. So it is all the process is already running here. So to test the load, I am using load test npm package. So just write this command npx load test and dash n for the number of requests. I want 1500 request and dash c for the concurrent request. So I want 500 concurrent request to initiate into my server, and in the last we have to define the uh, endpoint. So localhost 3000 slash load test, right? Just enter it, and let me show you like how it's work. So it is initiating 1500 request, 500 request parallelly, And let's see our if our express application can handle it or not, because each request is looping through 50 million times in this loop. As you can see, 103 request, this is a mean latency, and it will take some time. For till then, let me pause this video. So after waiting for around 1.5 minutes, all the requests get processed. So out of 1554 result API's request get failed. So there is a high chance for you the result number of is a bit higher, around 70-80% request get failed, because my machine is computer is powerful, so that's why I'm getting less number of errors. But still it is bad, right? You don't want your single user to face this issue. So to prevent this issue, what I have here is cluster.js module, JS file. So in this file, let me go each line by line. So in the first line, we have defined the cluster module. Second is OS, third is path. So what OS module will do? OS module will count the number of CPUs available in our machine, right? So I'm just taking its length in CPU count. So, and here I am just printing total number of CPUs, and it's the process ID, right? Not each CPU process ID, just the main thread process ID, right? Here what I'm doing is I'm just setting my primary thread by providing the path of my index.js file. So this is the convention, like you have to provide the primary file. So in my case it is index.js, and here what I'm doing is I'm just looping through my CPU count, how many CPUs I have, and I'm just forking each cluster for it, like cluster.fork, right? So for example, once your Node.js application start the server, the server will create a process, right? A process, and we are just replicating those process into different CPU thread, right? In my case, for example, my machine has 20 CPUs. So each process ID will run as Node.js environment, right? So I'm just doing that only. And here what I'm doing is, for any reason, any of the process ID get corrupted or get crashed, I'm just restarting it with the same cluster.fork. So what I'm doing is cluster.on exit can be for any reason, like xyz reason. I'm just doing it like cluster.fork again. So because I don't want to end that process ID for forever, right? So if the process ID get crashed, then you want it to start again with the same Node.js environment, right? So I'm just doing it. And after that, what we have to do is to check this. I'm just stopping this index.js server, and I'm just running this cluster.js file, node cluster.js, right? So here you can see I have total number of CPUs 20. The main process ID is this. So I'm just replicating this process ID into different process ID that I have available for the each CPUs, right? So each CPUs is running the same Node.js environment. So if the multiple request comes, then it will divide between this different process ID, right? So previously we have seen like only one process ID running, so each request is going through that process ID only. But now we have 20 process ID depending on your CPU length, and each request is divided between this process ID on the round robin fashion, right? So round robin is algorithm that divide the request into different process ID. And now let's just do the load test again. Same load test. Now you will see what's the result. Earlier we got 54 error, but this time let's see. Let's wait for some time. Also the request will process a bit faster than earlier. As you can see, I don't have to post this video. All the request gets processed, zero error. So this is the benefit of using cluster module. So I hope you like this video. I will share this code to my GitHub repo in the video description itself, so you can check it out. And thank you for watching, guys. If you like this video, do subscribe to my channel, and stay tuned for more video. Bye bye.